Hello. Today we're going to be talking about your trip to Israel. All right. This is going to be a very fun vacation for you. Where is Israel? Let's see. On this map, that little tiny red dot, that is Israel in the Middle East, right? That little dot, that's where you're going. King Herod's fortress, Masada. All right. This is personally one of my favorite locations. It is 10 kilometers south of Jerusalem on a plateau. This, in fact, was the location of the Jews' last stand against the Roman Empire. Yes, that's where the final showdown went down. That was the final battle. And the best part is that it overlooks the Dead Sea. So you can see all of the ruins, the fortress, and you get to overlook the Dead Sea. That is a very beautiful view. And it was originally made because King Herod, it was his escape from his enemies. It was a tactical position. That's why it's on a high plateau, right? My favorite location. Next, we're going to Dome of the Rock. This is also a very, very beautiful place. You see the dome made out of gold there. It is in Jerusalem, Israel. It is the place where Muhammad ascended to heaven. That is absolutely crazy. This is of great importance to the Muslim religion, all right? Non-Muslims have to look from the outside, so sadly, you won't be able to enter, but you can see from the outside, you can take a peek through the doors. No one will mind, and you get to see the great structure from the outside, too, and take some nice pictures. Next, you got Church of the Holy Sepulcher, also in Jerusalem, Israel. This one is more important to the Christian religion, but equally as amazing. It is a place where Jesus was crucified, buried, and rose from the dead. And it is a whopping 1,694 years old. Another amazing place to visit. You're going to have a lot of fun there. Next, we're going to the physical features. All right. The best months to go is April through May. It's mainly based on the seasons, not so much months. So anywhere between April through May or more winter time, you will be fine. The weather is very mild. The Jordan River is the longest river in Israel. An amazing physical feature, as you can see there. Some beautiful, beautiful pictures. Along with the Sea of Galilee. It is the lowest freshwater lake on earth. All right. Very amazing physical features here. Next, we move on to the incredible culture of Israel. The main religion is Judaism, and the local food and drink is kebab, falafel, and mint lemonade, to name a few. Very delicious. The main language is Hebrew, and religious people can't touch people of the opposite sex, all right? So you might want to keep that in mind if you're ever visiting, those religious sites on your trip. Be careful not to touch anyone. You don't want to be disrespectful to the locals. Next, we got safety. You must have a tourist visa and a passport. And like all the countries in the world, there are a few little dangerous locations here. Israel is no exception to that, right? You want to avoid West Bank and Gaza Strip. It is pretty violent at the moment right now because the Palestinians and Israelite people have been fighting over that land since the mid-20th century, so you want to stay clear from that. Otherwise, you'll be fine. Also, be careful in East Jerusalem, especially at night. You don't want to be there at night. As long as you're in the day and you're traveling with a group of people, you should be okay, but just try to avoid those areas and you'll be fine. The Israeli people are very accepting and casual people, so you should have no problem there. Next is the budget. As you can see, transportation is going to take up over half of the budget. Next is food. It's a little pricey here and there, but not super expensive. Accommodations could be a little expensive there, 19.8%. And then all of the little, souvenirs that you want to take should be relatively cheap in those little market areas. And here are the sources that I used to make this travel plan. And the last thing I would like to mention are a few things that I've learned on the trip. I learned that Jews are casual and friendly people. And you would think that in a place with so many like important religions that they would be super strict, but they are really, really friendly people. I couldn't believe there were still so many incredible ancient structures around, right? The amount of ruins that are like over 1,000 years old is absolutely absurd, right? Very cool ruins. And I also realized that some of the foods that I like came from Israel, right? I've been eating them all this time and I never knew they came from there. And lastly, I would like to thank you for listening to this presentation, and I can't wait for you to go on that vacation you 100% deserve, and see you next time. Bye.